we do get this recorded. So welcome to training tonight. I'm super excited to be here. My name is Tricia Hunt. I am a member of Dream and Believe. I'm on Shanna Kurtz's team, and I just love being able to talk with you guys. I love being able to share just a little bit of perspective. I hope that something hits home, something resonates with you. Like much of network marketing training, not a lot of what we talk about is ever new. Okay, so there's probably going to be a lot of things that are just very familiar to you, that you hear, that you have heard before, but maybe just today it's going to sound a little bit different, or it's going to feel a little bit different. It's going to resonate some way, so that you can take it forward and it's going to benefit you in some way. So Lauren asked me tonight to talk about customers, and I will tell you, it is so fun building this business with customers. And it kind of sounds funny because we're network marketing and everybody wants to have that team and have that big team. And I want that too. But my heart has always been servant-led. I want to make sure that I'm helping people. And that goes from the fact that at parties, I clean up and do the dishes when it's not even my house. I like to greet people at the door and take their coat, and I don't even know where the closet is. So that's just who I am. And so my heart goes forward with wanting to solve problems for people. And so this is a great business to be in for that. If you have a heart for helping people, this is the best place for you to be, because that's what we're doing. We're helping people solve problems. Now, we know at Viseo, we help people solve a lot of problems: health problems, financial problems, community problems that they might be having because they just don't feel like they fit in anywhere. So we help them solve a lot of problems. My default usually goes to, how do we help them get healthy? I'm so passionate about health. It's something that I've been pursuing for my own self and my family for the past probably 10 years. Very much to the natural lifestyle, no chemicals in my house, no toxins, try to do all the things. And so that's why I love these products, because they are the best of the best. So it's really easy to get customers. It's really easy to get people to understand, because they feel it. The science really does speak for itself. So I'm going to take you through just some things, and you're going to notice I look off to the side because I have notes. Shannon knows this about me. Lauren knows this about me. When I get started talking about health, I could go on, and you guys don't want that. I'm going to be super respectful of your time. So I do have some notes I'm checking periodically, and I have a clock too. So I'm checking that. Want to make sure we're all okay. So you guys, this is a relationship business, right? We've heard that in every training we've ever gone to. And it sounds like we hear it a lot. It's like, yeah, relationships. But it really is. Like, that's the basis for all of it. And you need to make sure that as you're building these relationships, that you're being authentic, that it is who you are. I find that when I'm working with my potential customers, we'll call them prospects, that it really is about meeting them where they are and finding out what their needs are and building that relationship. So what's interesting is that the relationship isn't always health related. It may not be business related. And I'll talk to you a little bit about that as we go in, but I just kind of wanted to tease you with that for a little bit. So you need to make sure that you're working with people and talking to them on a personal level. And so having that relationship, asking them questions, building a true relationship, because people are going to, you want to get them to that position where they know you, and maybe they do know you. Maybe you went to high school together, maybe you went to college together, or they're the mom of your son's best friend. So they might know you, but you don't necessarily know how much they like you or how much they trust you until you have a relationship with them. And so this is about building relationships. And that could be in person or in Facebook. I think one of the things that I love is I could go to coffee with somebody like 3 times a day, every day of the week. And I don't even really drink coffee that much. I would though, if it got me face to face with people. And I love that. I love being belly to belly. In this industry, we have the ability to build all over the world. So that belly to belly conversation sometime might actually be on Zoom. And it may just be you catching up and having a coffee and spending some time with some of your friends and pursuing that relationship. That whole concept, that term, build a relationship, means that it requires effort and it requires some work and it requires some intentionality. You don't just all of a sudden get to call somebody from high school and you're right back where you were 30 years ago. So it is that effort, but it's so worth it. And I think what's really important and what has been a huge benefit for me is that I'm a super curious person. I want to know where you work. I want to know how many kids you have and what did you study in school and are you using that degree? Because people are fascinating. And in this business, especially, if you are getting to know who they are and you're showing that type of interest in them, that's how they get to know you. That's why they want to be part of your circle or part of your tribe. And so it's having that curiosity, going into those relationships with true, authentic curiosity for who they are. And when you're asking those questions, that's going to reveal to you what some of their needs are. So this goes back to what I said a minute ago. Sometimes when you're starting to work with a customer, their immediate needs are not health needs, and they're not necessarily Viseo business needs. It might be that they need a handyman. They might need an insurance broker. But so that's where what I love doing is doing a lot of networking around town. I know realtors, I know general contractors, I know painters and handymen, I know moms who have kids that babysit, because then I can pair people up and solve some of the needs that they have. And it helps me to build that relationship. It helps me to provide them with value that I'm not selling them anything, right? We talk about this all the time, that it's about service versus selling. And so how can you be of service to them? It doesn't necessarily mean that they need your products right now. And I say that almost tongue in cheek. We know everybody needs our products all the time, right? We do. We know that that's a fact because we know that they work. However, when you're starting to build those relationships, you want to meet them where they are and give them the help or solve the problem for them that they actually, that's front of mind for them. So when you build that bridge with them, it might be that you see a post and you're getting to know them and getting to understand where they are in their life. And they don't necessarily want you to just come at them with some type of solution, right? Most people just want to be known and seen and heard and validated. So maybe you see a post that a mom just posted about, my kid is getting on my very last nerve and I'm about ready to lose it. I'm going to go hide in the closet with a bottle of wine. Okay, our minds immediately go to, oh, I could help her. I could help her. She probably needs better sleep. I bet that her hormones are screwed up. So I could get her some Eternal and help her get her hormones back. She, V3, she definitely needs some mommy juice. Like those are things. And we're so passionate about what we do that our mind goes there. Her mind is not there. Her mind wants a friend that says, oh my gosh, friend, I just saw your post. I am so sorry things are rough at your house. What can I do for you? What do you need? Can I babysit your kids for an hour? Do you need me to come over with a bottle of wine and get in the closet with you so that we can hide together? She needs somebody to be her friend. And that's what these relationships are. That's how you build these customer relationships. And even if it's somebody that you know super well, and you know that you could go straight to the product, that they wouldn't necessarily think it's weird. It's not a matter of them thinking that it's weird or not. It's a matter of, do they feel validated and seen and known? And that's the bigger part of going in authentically with a friend, having a conversation and having a relationship with them. And so it is about asking some of the questions, right? How can you help them? How long has something been going on? What's causing the distress in their life? And it's the same way for if you're commenting or if you're having these conversations with people with celebrations too. it's not just the happy anniversary or happy birthday or congratulations, but it's also really understanding if they're telling you that their son just became an Eagle Scout and they're bragging about that on Facebook, that's a big deal. And it's not just that quick congratulations, it's the, oh my gosh, I didn't even know your son was in Eagle Scouts. How did you get interested in that? Were you ever a Boy Scout leader? Like, have real conversation. I know you're probably going to hear me say that a lot, but that's one of the ways that then people all of a sudden out of the blue come to you and they're like, hey, I'm finally ready. Hey, that thing you told me about 6 months ago, or I just had someone about 3 months ago that I'd been talking to for 18 months. And she finally sent me a text one day and said, hey, I'm ready. What do I need to get? And it's because we are in relationship. I'm not trying to sell anything. I'm just trying to help her and help her family. Okay, so I know it kind of feels like I'm rambling. I know you guys are like, she's totally rambling, but I get really, really excited. And so I'm just trying to keep things a little bit trying to keep things a little bit on track here. So checking my notes one more another time. So let's say that you are at that point with somebody and it is time for the product introduction, right? So you know that there's a problem that they have. You guys have talked about it. You've seen, them mention it or whatever the case may be. And it's time that you want to bring that to them. It's also going into that in a gentle, authentic way. And having customers and building a business in network marketing that is a good customer-based business has nothing to do with knowing all of the product information, right? We've got resources for that. We've got the app, we've got a scientific advisory board calls, we've got PDFs and flyers. We have all sorts of resources. So they don't necessarily need you to be a resource with facts and figures. They're looking for you to be a resource with authenticity, being real, somebody that they can talk to and somebody that they trust. They want you to be a resource, somebody that has proof, that has some testimonies, that has stories, right? So you need to become a really good storyteller. When there's somebody that has an issue, it's whether it's your story and being able to personally say, yeah, that used to be me. I had this issue, and being able to relate to it that way, or you're borrowing someone else's story, right? There's so many people on this team that have had amazing health testimonies. So you can actually, and I did this when I was getting started, I would write down migraine headaches, and then I would go search CBD and liposomes and see who has said something about solving migraine headaches. I would search anxiety. I would search ADHD. I would search arthritis, things that I knew my family, my group of friends, things that they were suffering from, so that I would have stories. I don't have any kids, so I don't understand that parenting side of ADHD. It wouldn't have been my personal story, but I can find really great stories and testimonies and be able to share it with them from that perspective. And you guys, that's what they want us for. They want us to be a resource that can help tell them that they're not alone and that there's a better outcome that they're going to be able to get from using these products. So when it comes to telling your story or someone else's story, it really is that kind of that story sandwich of where you were, what you tried, and then where you are now. And then being really honest with them, letting them know, I think that this could be a possibility for you too. Would you be open to learning more about it? And giving them that open-ended question. Some people may not be there and they may push you away. And it's so hard when we know that it's going to change their life, when we know it's going to change the trajectory of their health. It is so hard because we just want them to take it, right? We just want them to get started. But sometimes the best thing that we can do to provide customer service is to provide friendship. And that is to walk away for a little bit and not worry about it, right? Give them support in other ways, Let them know that when you are open, when you are ready to talk about it, I'm here for you. And then follow up. Okay, and I'm going to talk about follow up in just a second. You can't convince somebody to be healthy, right? That's not what we do. This is a sharing opportunity, that we've got these great products and we share the possibilities, we share the potential, we share the stories and the testimonies, and we try to help them see that they could also live out that same story. But we can't make them get healthy, just like the same way we can't make them buy something. Okay, so it really is laying that good groundwork and having that good foundation of friendship and relationship that's going to allow that later on that customer relationship to form. And let's be honest, not everybody is going to be our customer, right? Because there are some people, there are just some people that, first of all, they don't relate to you personally. That's okay. That's okay. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I would like to think I'm everybody's cup of tea. I am not. And so maybe they just don't get along with my personality. I don't know, whatever the reason is, I'm never going to take that personally. Now, I shouldn't say never. It's taken me a long time to get over this, but I've gotten to a point where I understand there's so many unhealthy people out there that if somebody's not ready right now, I'm not tied to the end result. It doesn't mean they stop being my friend or I want to stop my relationship with them if they're not buying something from me right now. It just means that they're not ready. And so they'll go on the list of somebody that I'm going to be following up with later. So you can't convince somebody to be healthy. And when they see you keep showing up and keep caring about them, then when they are ready, you're going to be the person that they come to. Especially going back to some of the things I mentioned before, if you're offering value and solving some of their other problems by matching them up with a realtor or getting them a math tutor for their son, whatever the case may be. We're here to help people. At least that's the approach that I take. I'm here to help people with whatever their issues might be. So following up, right? The fortune is in the follow-up. That's what we've always heard, and it is true. And so, unfortunately, for some of you, this is going to make you really uncomfortable. Follow-up requires organization. Yes, it does. It requires being organized, but it doesn't have to be high tech and it doesn't have to be anything that's crazy. It really just requires maybe note cards in a box or a binder or an Excel spreadsheet or a list, because all you want to do is make sure that you don't lose track of those people. That is the number one thing when it comes to customer service. You cannot lose track of the people that you're working with. So if you have somebody that you know, you just need to give them some time. You've asked them to take a look and they weren't open to it, or they did watch a video and they said, nah, I'm just not ready right now. Okay, you need to make sure you're following up with them. So you put a little tickler in a file, you add a little task to your calendar. Maybe that's a couple weeks from now, maybe it's a couple months from now. And especially if they said, hey, life is too crazy right now, I need to get my kid off to college. Okay, well then you're probably not going to follow up with that person until maybe the middle to the end of September, right? You want to respect some of the things that they've told you. But you want to definitely keep track somehow and make sure that you're following up. Now the follow-up too, though, shouldn't just be limited to the next time I talk to them about a product or the next time I talk to them about Viseo. Follow-up is also, again, just being a friend, just keeping you front of mind. So maybe you know that they love a certain band and you just saw that their band is coming to town. You text them and let them know, hey, did you see that they're playing in town? I know you love them, you might want to check it out. So it's pursuing those types of things that keep you front of mind, let them know that you care about them, and that is how we keep these relationships going. Are they your best friend that you go to coffee with every week so you know everything about each other? No, you can't be best friends with all of our customers. I seriously would need way too much V3 for that to happen. But you can make sure that you're still a part of someone's life and still touching base with them, even when it has, or especially when it has nothing to do with the sale, right? Because then it's not weird when there's a big sale and you reach out to them and say, hey, by the way, if this is still on your radar, I wanted to make sure you knew it's 25% off, or I wanted to make sure you knew it's buy one, get one free. Because if the only time you ever follow up with that person is to talk to them about the sale, they are not going to like and trust you. They're still going to know you, but they're not going to like and trust you. So you need to maintain some other type of relationship too, not just the sale. So that's kind of a little bit about following up with prospects. Once you make a sale, once somebody is a customer, and it's exciting, we get that text and we see that we've got a new customer and we jump in the back office to see what's going on. It gets pretty fun. There are definitely things that you want to do to follow up and provide that good customer service. Because here's the thing, they could have gone on to Amazon and just bought some vitamins. Now we know they wouldn't have been as good, right? That's why we're here with the sale. But what makes us different? What makes you different than them shopping at Target or them shopping at Amazon, or even them shopping with a different network marketer who also has a good product? What makes it different is how you provide customer service to them. And so it's making yourself stand out from that customer service level. So what can you do for those customers? Well, first of all, send them an immediate thank you, whether it's email or text or whatever way that you guys have been communicating. Let them know that you saw their order come across and that you're so excited that they're making this investment in their health. And then a couple days later, check the back office, find that shipping number, find the tracking, and figure out when it is they're going to be getting it so that you can touch base with them again. Hey, I just saw that your order is going to be arriving at Friday. It says by 11 o'clock at night. Hope you're up that late because you're going to want to start right away. Ha ha ha. Or whatever. My personality, it may not mesh with you, may not mesh with everybody, but you'll know who your customers are. You'll know their personality. So you follow up with them, make sure they know when it's arriving. Make sure also that they know how to take it. That's a really great way. So when you see, or that day that you know that their package is arriving, maybe you're touching base that very next day. Hey, you should have gotten it yesterday. Please tell me that it arrived and that you started it because I'm so excited for you to get healthy. By the way, you may want to take it at night with collagen. We know that that's a great thing to take at night. Or sometimes it's just a matter of, hey, don't forget to take it. I always put mine out on the counter the night before so that I don't forget in the morning. Maybe there's some tips, some ways that help encourage them to actually start taking the product, because there's a lot of people who are feeling really good about it and then it shows up and they don't even open the box until all of a sudden the prompt comes in. And I've had people say this when I send them a text that it arrived and they're like, it did. My husband must have put it somewhere. I better go find it. So they don't even know it's in their house. So encouraging them to take it and to get started on their health journey is definitely a great way to touch base. And then also set the expectation that they're not alone in this health journey. So letting them know, I'm going to follow up in a couple of days because I'm so excited to hear how great you're going to be feeling. And letting them know that this is something that you want to participate in with them, that you're invested in making sure that they have a resource for all the questions and any kind of concerns, or that when they are interested in trying more product, they know and they have that relationship with you. And also it's about that excitement, right? I love what Shanna does when she reaches out. She always talks about sending a message that says, what changes have you noticed so far? So it sets the expectation that they should be feeling, or they could be feeling something just a few days in, but also it's okay that if they're not feeling it right away. Now, we know most people do. Some people don't. Some people are super healthy already, and so they may not feel it for another week or two. And one of the things that I always do when I'm talking to people, I keep a lot of notes. I keep a running notebook of what are the issues that they told me they have. So sometimes when I'm following up, I will specifically prompt them for, hey, I know that you started on the product. Is your knee still bothering you the same way it was? Or tell me about your knee pain. Or does it still hurt when you get in and out of bed in the morning? And that prompts them to think. I had a customer who, when we were talking, she said that she was away. She started taking the Eternal Active and that she was away at her mom's house for Thanksgiving. And she said, it wasn't until the third day that I was walking down the stairs and I realized my knees didn't hurt walking down the stairs like they usually do at my mom's house, because she lives in a single story house. So she doesn't actually have that experience all the time. So sometimes they'll recognize an experience, but more times than not, people are not as body aware as we might think they are. And so it helps to give them a prompt, ask them about their migraines or ask them about their hot flashes or whatever the case is when you had been talking to them and working with them. And then a couple of things that are just mine kind of personally, the way that I like to establish myself is I do a lot of networking in my hometown. I go to networking meetings to get my name out there as somebody who provides solutions. Yes, health solutions, yes, Viseo, but also at those networking meetings is where I find the realtors and the contractors and the Pinterest experts and the website builders, because that is just part of my style, is helping to pair people up with people that are going to be a good solution for them. Those networking groups have also turned into an awful lot of customers and a couple of brand partners for me. So it's a fun way to get involved in your community and to get the Viseo name known in your town. So that might be something that you think about. And also, I'm kind of an old-fashioned girl. I like to send handwritten thank you notes. So yes, I send the electronic email and I do that type of follow-up, but I always send a handwritten thank you note, because I want them to know that they're valuable to me. Their health is valuable to me. I care about what's happening to them, and I want them to know that they're just not throwing their money, kind of at a solution, but that they're actually getting a partner when it comes to their health journey. So I hope that some of this was helpful. Like I said, I get really excited about working with customers. I get excited about helping people get healthy. So I know there were times that I was rambling on, but I hope that some of this was helpful. Please feel free to reach out if you ever have any questions. I love this business because it allows us to build with customers if we're not ready or in a place in our life where we think that we could have a team. That's kind of how I was when I got started. In the back of my mind, I was like, I don't know if I can handle supporting people. I just want people to get healthy. And so I love that I've been able to make a paycheck every week for the past 2 years, basically 2 years, with primarily having customers. It's a really great business to have. So I hope that that was good for some of you. Reach out if you have any questions or need any further assistance with anything. You can find me on Dream and Believe, and on Facebook, I'm Tricia Zapinski Hunt. So feel free to message me. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for coming to training.